Jefferson and Andrew Jackson brought an amazing era that made a great impact in America. These two men had many similarities. However, in their political philosophies and policies, they differ in many ways.
Hello, and welcome to 60 Minutes. My name is Morley Safer, and this is Sharon Scott. Today we will be discussing the evolution of democracy from Jefferson to Jackson. There were many people during each president's time that were very influential in social, religious, economic, and political aspects of the time.
Thomas Jefferson was a man for the common people. He felt that the purpose of government is to support the common interest of people.
Jefferson favored government for the people, but not by all the people. He also believed in a strict interpretation of the Constitution. They call my husband Old Hickory because of his genuine belief in the American people as a whole.
Jackson was an anti-federalist who believed that the federal government was only for the privileged.
We will be right back after this short break.
Is your backyard too small? Do you need a few more acres for those crops this season? Well, have we got a deal for you? I'm Meriwether, and this is my friend Willie. We've spent the past 2.5 years exploring the Western Territory of the United States. And let me tell you, it is some great farmland. And we're selling it to you for just 3 cents an acre.
If you telegram in the next fortnight, we'll throw in a free pony.
Just telegram to 1-800-Louisiana. This is Sacagawea, our friend.
It's going to rain!
What was each man's view towards slavery?
Mr. Jefferson hoped to end slavery, so he took major actions that would lead to that accomplishment. He was not unkind to his slaves. He treated us like human beings.
First of all, both Jefferson and Jackson owned slaves. Jefferson, however, was hypocritical. He called slavery a moral depravity and an abominable crime. Jackson is just honest about the fact that farmers and plantation owners need slaves to accomplish what needs to be done to earn a living. He did not find it necessary to abolish slavery.
So, what was each man's attitude toward equality for women and American Indians?
Neither Jackson nor Jefferson thought of women and Native Americans as an equal, even though many white Americans at that time thought that these people could be incorporated into society.
How do you view education?
Universal education is the base of intelligent society to elect strong leaders to lead our country in the right direction. Public education is the key to advancement of social mobility.
Public education destabilizes freedom of religion in America by replacing church-run schools and by restricting individual responsibilities of parents to educate their children.
To what degree was the separation of church and state accomplished during each president's era?
After the Revolution, the majority of the established churches have been eliminated through the state constitutions. I believe that the Constitution interprets the separation of church and the state.
The last state to maintain an established church was Massachusetts, and it ended its practice in
And now we go to Sharon for some breaking news.
Breaking news, a fight is broken out between Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton. Now, we're live at the scene in the courthouse.
Boom!
Now Miss Heineman is mine!
So how do they feel about the right to vote among white men?
I believe that amount of property owned is a great test of a man's achievement and knowledge, and that should determine who gets to vote.
It is most important in gaining the manhood suffrage for whites. I have eliminated the property requirements for voting because I believe that every white man may have the right to express their political views through voting.
What do you think are the components for someone to be eligible to run for public office?
Although Jefferson was my opposing candidate, he also believed that in order to run for office, one should be well educated and wear the name of an American citizen worthy to fulfill the terms.
During the Jacksonian democracy, all men were eligible to hold office. It was also believed that political positions should gradually be exchanged or rotated.
How are the presidential candidates?
The presidential candidates were chosen through electoral votes. The popular votes that the candidates got had no effect on the outcome of the elections. If there was a tie, then the president was chosen through the House of Representatives.
Industrialization was not always easy during their times. How did they deal with this?
Thomas Jefferson did not approve with the idea of industrialization because he believed that the country should stick to the old ways of life, which is increasing in farming and agriculture.
Andrew Jackson believed that American society had to accept industrialization to improve the economic conflicts of a nation as a whole.
What are your attitudes toward the Bank of the United States?
I'm against the Bank of the United States because I feel that it would hurt the common man and that it also is a damaging monopoly. I feel that this bank would make a strong government which would control money, and it would, indeed, be too dangerous.
I feel that the Bank of the United States is too dangerous for us to deal with. I also think this bank would be undemocratic, even though I took away its federal charter, and it will continue to be a state bank. The bank was a moneyed monster. It also acted like its own branch of government, which is wrong.
I know my country has not perfected itself. At times, we've struggled to keep the promise of liberty and equality for all our people. We've made our share of mistakes, and there are times when our actions around the world have not lived up to our best intentions. That was a quote by our current president, Barack Obama. This quote rang true throughout Jefferson and Jackson's times. The nation has had its ups and downs, but were conquered through the eyes of the presidents. Thank you for joining us on 60 Minutes Time Travel Edition. Join us next week for other riveting stories about Miss Heinemann's boyfriends. I'm sorry.
Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson believed. Andrew Jackson. No, not like that.
Okay.
Damn, we just.
Thomas Jefferson was a man for the common people. He felt that to support the common interests of people.
Go. After the Revolution, most established... Okay, can we do that again? Wait, no! Oh! I'm against the Bank of the United States. Again.
I'm sorry, I was thinking of the verse. Okay, did you stop?
So, how do they feel about the right to vote among white men?
We got a deal for you. I'm Meriwether, and
Sorry, I just like